Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Luke. What if I told you there was a very simple way that you can find a few stocks to get you started on the stock market? If you want to know, just stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Finally, I get an opportunity to do this video. I've been saying for months that I was going to do this video on how you can find simple ways to identify stocks with research that you can possibly add to your stock portfolio. So I emphasize research because just because you identify the stock does not mean that you need to buy the stock. That only means you need to identify it so that you can start doing further and deeper research on it. Okay, so I'm going to set a profile for a person. They're not going to have an age. We're just only talk about routine. They're not going to have an age, marital status, gender, any of that. We're just going to talk about a routine. Okay. And at the end, we'll get to the point to where you'll start to see how this person is identifying stocks. Okay. I'll break this down in a 3-part video. First 2 parts is going to be about a routine. The third part is going to be a little bit more technical about how you can find stocks. Okay. So this person is goes to sleep at night, wakes up in the morning, their alarm goes off on their phone, they check their alarm, they turn their alarm off, and then they maybe check the news media, then they get up. It's time to get up. I got to go to work, or I got to go do whatever I got to do for that day. Then they go into the bathroom and then they brush their teeth. First thing they do, they grab their toothpaste, they grab a toothbrush, brush their teeth. Next thing they do, they might grab their soap and wash their face, grab their washcloth or whatever it is and wash their face. Next thing this person might do is they might hop in the shower. They hop in the shower. They're going to be using that soap again. They're going to be using some type of shampoo. Once they get out of the shower, they're going to be using some deodorant. And for some of the ladies, they might be using makeup. And even going back before the shower, if it's a male, he might have shaved before he got in the shower. Reasonable, right? That sounds pretty normal for a morning routine. Some of us have different routines, but that's pretty normal. There might be a few other things that you do in there. But now let me rewind you and tell you how you can turn this routine into finding stocks. Okay. So I told you in the beginning that this person woke up, looked at their cell phone. Well, it just so happens to be that this person was an iPhone user. So who owns iPhone? Apple. Apple is on the stock market. So you just encountered your first stock. First thing in the morning, the very first thing you did probably was to look at that phone and you identified your first stock. Okay, so you already see where this is going. Go in the restroom, go in the bathroom, and you start to brush your teeth. Guess what? You look at your toothpaste. Oh, this toothpaste is Colgate, owned by Colgate, who is also on the stock market. Right? So then I said this person probably washes their face, then they probably shave. So let's do that. So we're already on 2 and you just walked in the restroom. So now this person washed their face, they got their soap. I like Dove, and full disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies that I'm mentioning. I'm just trying to give you an idea. All right. So mention Dove, look on the back of Dove, it says Unilever. Unilever has a beauty products line, right? So, and Dove, the soap falls under that. So you wash your face. Now you've already encountered 3. For guys, you're shaving. You've encountered 4 because you might be using Gillette, who's owned by P&G, which guess what? Is a company that is on the stock market. All right. So for this 5th one, well, let's go back. You put on deodorant. Right? You might have put on Old Spice. Ladies might put on Secret. Both also owned by P&G, right? So Procter and Gamble. Okay. So now number 5 is for what the ladies do, usually in the morning. Okay. They get up and after they get through their routine, they put on makeup. Guess what? They put on the makeup. Ulta Beauty, Elf Beauty. These are makeup companies that you can buy on the stock market. So what am I saying here? In your daily routine, there are plenty of stocks that you can identify on the stock market, right? And that's just getting started. So in part 2, we're going to talk about the stocks that you encounter while you're on your way to work. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some ideas, and we're going to move on to part 2. Thank you.